Hey, it's March 5th. Welcome to the NBA G League Rundown. Raymond Lions. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr., and we got quite a bit to get to. Always, if you guys don't know how this goes, I'll give you a quick update on the day's action in which we are going live. So that's March 5th. Tomorrow is literally the end of the regular season in this super abbreviated G League year, and then the playoffs just a couple days later. We're going to get to the standings very, very shortly. We're going to go through our standout players. We'll see who Raymond has. I have a couple. We'll share our thoughts on the Bayhawks and the Ignite, as always. And then lastly, we'll close up with the players we feel that are on the verge. So we're going to start off with today's action in the G League. And that was, look, man, it's getting kind of interesting. The Fort Wayne Mad Ants beat the Greensboro Swarm 111-107. The Iowa Wolves fell to the Lakeland Magic 114-94. Erie Bayhawks fell to the Westchester Knicks 130-124. It's halftime between the Salt Lake City Stars and Delaware Bluecoats. The Bluecoats lead 51-47, and there's 9 minutes left in the second quarter. In the Warriors Rio Grande Valley Vipers game, and Rio Grande leads that by 2 right now, 34-32. In terms of the standings, like I told you guys, we've done this every week, and they're very – some things have changed, some things haven't. As for the Bayhawks, they had a nice little stretch where at the top of these things. That is not the case anymore, and we'll get to that a little bit later. Raptors 905 leading the way at 11-3. Santa Cruz Warriors 10-3. We got the Erie Bayhawks 11-4. Austin Spurs 10-4. Delaware Bluecoats 9-4. Lakeland Magic are 9-5. Oklahoma City Blue 8-6. Rio Grande Valley Vipers are also 8-6. I know you guys see this beautiful red line through the standings. You want to be on the right side of the red line. The right side of the red line is where the Rio Grande Valley Vipers are. The wrong side, the G League Ignite. The youngsters, they're 7-7, literally at 500, which makes tomorrow's game so huge for them. The Westchester Knicks, they've climbed their way back into it. They're only a game or two out, 7-8. So they would need a win tomorrow and then a little bit of help. Long Island Nets, look, man, it's been real. Oh, I'm sorry. I take that back. Westchester Knicks are already eliminated. The G League Ignite just have to win tomorrow to get themselves in. They're the only hope on the other side of the red line. Everyone else, as you see, that nice smaller circle next to it means it's a wrap. We'll see you next year. Thanks for playing. Hope you enjoyed your time. Hope you got the most out of this experience. And that applies to the Westchester Knicks, the Long Island Nets, Fort Wayne Mad Ants, Memphis Hustle, Agua Caliente Clippers, Canton Charge, Salt Lake City Stars, Greensboro Swarm, and my favorite, the 2-13 Iowa Wolves. I see y'all with them 2 big wins, man. Truly appreciative of you guys not going over because I'm not emotionally mature enough to not make jokes about you guys having 0 wins. So kudos. Those 2 wins mean something because that would have been another 5 minutes of these standings talking about you went through a whole season without a dub, and there's no reason for that. None at all. All right, Ray, so we're going to get to the standout players. The floor is yours, man. Who caught your eye this week?
First, I would actually prefer that the Wolves go over for the season.
You going to tell me the 2 didn't mean anything to you?
Because, man, like, why get the 2? Just go ahead and stay consistent, man. Why? Like, what's the point?
Man.
But
and y'all say I'm the bad one, right? Y'all hear that, right? All right, go ahead, Ray.
But as far as standouts, I'm going to start with Jared Harper from the Westchester Knicks. Had a great game, 35 points, 10-18 from the field, 4-6 from 3. Actually against the Bayhawks. I'm sure we'll dive deeper into that later on. But he just put together a good couple games. He's showing he can score and be efficient. While putting up those big numbers. He's definitely turned it on lately. He's just being a threat from everywhere. Moving on to Henry Ellenson from the Raptors, 905. Last game, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 8 of 11 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3. We talked about him before on the show. He just continues to show his versatility. He's impactful scoring from the inside, and he can, stretch it out to the 3-point line. He operates out the high post. He can score from there. And he's shown he can find teammates from that position as well, and that definitely opens their offense up. and he's also doing work on the boards and being bothersome at the rim, which he's not wasting his size. He's definitely putting it to use. Next play I want to talk about Bodrick Thomas from the Canton Charge. He's actually on a two-way with Cleveland right now. He's Division II product, so he's going about it the long way. Always got appreciation for those guys. He's got good size. He's 6'5" shooting guard. He's a capable scorer. Last game he had 28 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals in the win. He scored at all 3 levels in a variety of ways, floaters, mid-range. He did work off the bounce, finished at the rim. He moved off the ball, and to top everything off, he sealed the game with a defensive play. You definitely love to see that. And he's just taking full advantage of his opportunity. He's kind of bounced around a little bit between last year and this year, but he's just trying to find some consistency in the home. Moving on to James Palmer Jr. from the Agua Caliente Clippers. Last game, 26 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Man, he turned it up down the stretch. He had 12 points in the fourth quarter of a close win. He's another versatile scorer. He got extremely aggressive down the stretch, got to the line and made his free throws. This is the type of performance that definitely gets you on people's radar, especially with when I'm coming down the back end of the season, and with teams looking to reach down the G League and pull people up once this thing is wrapped up. So it's just good to have a performance like this fresh on everyone's minds. And yeah, man, that's all I have for this week.
All right, I got a couple. Didn't have as many as you, but had a couple standouts. Where we're going to start at? That is always the question. Nas Mitchell Long. All right, so we gave Kevin Porter Jr. some love. I believe it was a week ago for getting that triple-double. All right, we're going to do the same thing for this young man, and it came in a win. Right, so little added bonus there. That never hurts anything at all. Not to say triple doubles are worthless without the dub, but the dub is what we're here for, right? That's what matters. All right, just want to keep all that in perspective. That said, Nas Mitchell Long had a triple double to lead the Mad Ants past the Greensboro Swarm today, 111-107. He had 22 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Biggest thing for me, those 10 rebounds. You're a 6'3" point guard. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. The 10 assists, you're doing your job. The other thing is one of the things with running running your team, you did everything you needed to do to help your team get over the top. It doesn't have to look a certain type of way. You guys got the W, and that's the biggest thing there. I know you mentioned Jared Harper a little bit earlier, so I want to show one of his teammates a little bit of love. They got the big win over the Bayhawks, as you mentioned. So I hope I do not butcher your name, sir. Just give me a second. Because I'm going to throw the disclaimer out because it could happen. All right. It could definitely happen. And this is big because the Westchester Knicks beat the Erie Bayhawks. And you guys, if you tuned in before, you've heard how we talked about the Bayhawks, and deservingly so for a large part of the season. They've had a strong stretch. That said, things haven't gone the greatest recently. And the Westchester Knicks got a big W today. And this is Jared Harper's teammate, Mr. Simisola Shitu. 24 points, 9 rebounds, 10 of 13 shooting. Helped the Westchester Knicks beat the Erie Bayhawks 130-124. All right, going to move on to the Bayhawks. Some quick notes from the Bayhawks. Like I said, man, after a strong start, they've been going through it a little bit. They beat the Oklahoma City Blue yesterday. But then they got beat by the Westchester Knicks today. So from a team that's been oh so consistent, what they've been so far is consistently inconsistent as of late. Some folks in and out the lineup, but they have clinched a playoff spot, so it's not the end of the world for them. But as we mentioned during the standings portion, they are sliding down the table just a little bit. Ray, your thoughts on the Bayhawks?
Yeah, man, I still feel like they're one of the best teams in the G League. Like you said, they have been taking some lumps recently, just trying to adjust with guys being in and out. But as good and as rounded as a team is, they just don't look the same without Jordan Bell on the floor. And I mean, that's just is what it is. They still be getting consistent contributions from Jerry Udolph, Jalen Adams, Justin Wright Foreman, Najee Marshall, Cassius Winston, so they got guys that can play, but with the lineup consistently fluctuating and guys, sitting one day playing the next is hard to get your rhythm, especially after you establish what they did over that stretch of games when they were just on fire. But yeah, man, they dropped a close one yesterday to the Westchester Knicks. They in that game they shot 54% from the floor and 50% from three. Typically when you put out an offensive showing like that, you get the W. But they went 9 for 13 from the free throw line. And with this G League format, that's 8 points they left off on the floor. When they shoot 1 free throw for 2 points, or in some cases 1 for 3 points if you fouled on a 3-point shot. So that's at least 8 points they kind of threw away right there, and they lost about 6. So that just tells the tale right there. And adversely, they sent the Knicks to the line 23 times, and the Knicks were able to convert on 19 of those. So if they maybe a little bit more discipline on defense, kind of play without fouling, and give them those extra opportunities to put points on the board, maybe they squeeze this one out. We talked about Jared Harper's performance earlier, and I'm not even going to attempt the teammate's name. You're braver than I am, Wilson. But
we'll just leave me out there like that. That's cool.
But both of those guys had great games, and and again, it's good to have a game like that against a team like this when things are kind of coming to an end. So it's right there on the forefront of people's minds when they're looking at who they want to bring up and who they want to leave behind. So yeah, man, I'm not worried about the Bayhawks. If they get into a position where they're not going to be without some of their key guys during the playoff run, that might spell a little trouble for them. But overall, I'm not too worried. I still feel like like I said, they're one of the deepest teams in the G League. They're one of the best teams. So they should be okay.
All right, so let's transition to the Ignite. You want to go first on this one?
Sure. They they came out the gate smoking, man. They started out 4-0, but they're 3-7 since that, and they're in a do or die situation with getting into the postseason here. But they've done what I expect them to do. It's been some up and down times. They had times when they look great, and they had times when they look shaky. And they're young guys for the most part, so it's not surprising at all. Jalen Adams, man, he's been consistent. He had 22 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists in the loss against Rio Grande Valley. Jonathan Kaminga didn't play, but Brandon Ashley had another solid performance, 18 points, 14 rebounds. Isaiah Todd, he started the season off pretty slow, but he's come on of late. He had 16.7 rebounds. Bobby Brown, 15 points, 5 rebounds, and Reggie Hearn had 14 points. So what I'm just looking for overall with the Ignite is how they adjust to the physicality and speed of a high caliber opponent than they face previously in their basketball lives. So while of course it's good that they got some wins, and this slide that they're on is really not damning in the sense that this is a trial run for them. They're just seeing what the life is like before it becomes official for them. So I'm not really too excited about what's going on with them. It's just them getting acclimated to professional life. And I think they handled it well for the most part. They had some tough games, which is to be expected, and they've had some good games. So it's good to see how they developed over this process. And it will be exciting to see them make the playoffs, just to see how they respond to that environment.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. It's your first year of this. I don't want to say project, but this experience for this journey for this particular program, which is the G League Ignite. That said, you're 7-7, and to a large degree, you control your destiny come tomorrow. For all the ups and downs you went through, right? If you're 500 going into the last day of an abbreviated season with a chance to get into the playoffs, I'm gonna call it a success. Not to mention the play-in and how much the kids have grown to this point, but I'm with you. I don't see nary a negative here at all. We get a chance to see if they can get into the playoffs tomorrow. And again, they get to play a big role in that. They're not waiting on 4 other teams to lose or this complex math issue. Just win your game tomorrow. Just go from 500 to 1 game over 500, and you did what you needed to do. But yeah, the youngsters are on the outside looking in, as we show with the standings, on the wrong side of the red line. The good news is they're the only team on the wrong side of the red line that can get to the right side of the red line. That's it. Like, there's nothing else we can really ask for. All right, so before we get out here, as always, we get to the On the Verge segment. I'm interested to see who you have this week.
You know who I have this week.
Oh, it didn't change? Okay.
Kevin Porter Jr., man. Like, I'm going to keep talking about him until he make me stop talking about him. 28, 10 assists, 9 rebounds. I mean, he's league ready. I mean, he's already been up there. And he's just waiting. I think it's just going to be a formality at this point. He's been playing awesome. And also, I got a shout out a guy we've been talking about on this show before. Jordan Poole, he got a chance to get some time up top with Steph Curry and Draymond being out. The Warriors called up Nico Mannion and Jordan Poole, and Jordan Poole did in the league what he's been doing in the G League, albeit it was in a loss against the Suns, but he came in 26 points in 26 minutes, 5 for 10 from 3. And, he looked just like he's been looking in the G League. So it was just good to see him get that opportunity. If who knows, it might parlay into something else.
All right. I feel like you're looking at my notes, bringing up Jordan Poole. So, and just for evidence, so people can see what I'm talking about. Here's my notes. Right here, this highlighted portion, you guys can see. That's Jordan Poole. You guys see that, Jordan Poole? Yeah. Ray's cheating. But no, it's not the first or last time this happened this year. Yeah, it was good for him and Nico. And what you could tell immediately is the time in the G League worked out, right? That's what you want, for them to go down there, get reps, gain confidence, and come back up and contribute. It was only 1 game, but Jordan Poole, there's an opportunity there for you, sir. That's all I got to say. There's a veteran that's manning the second unit at the 1. They've been going through it this year. There's prime opportunity for not only you and your homie Nico to come steal some minutes on that second unit. That's all I'm saying. I ain't naming no names. Just simply say there's an opportunity. That's all I got. And what I forgot, I can't think of the quote verbatim of what Steve Kerr had to say, but essentially, like, you come back up, you contribute like that, it's gonna make me have to adjust the rotation. And that's all you can ever ask for, right? Is that meant sending you down to detention? Definitely work. And the reason I didn't choose Kevin Porter Jr., as you and Cardell so kindly mentioned several times, he's in detention, man. It's not about this isn't about. I'm not even looking at what he does on the court. He's in detention for. He just needs to mature off the court.
Right.
Got nothing to do with hooping. If it was an on the court decision, you see the current state of the Rockets. There's minutes to be had. Right? There's minutes to be had. But again, this is about long-term development and, most important, the maturity. No one's questioned Kevin Porter's talent, not once, not twice, and shouldn't. The person I had for On the Verge, we gave some love to Jarrett Jack several times earlier for being a vet with a steady hand. I'm going Jeremy Lin. Kind of getting ignored, I know, made the headlines for other things. Not getting into that, but he's been steady. Same way we gave props to Jarrett Jack. I want to have the same energy with him. In 7 games in the G League, 19 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds, 1.1 steals a game. He's shooting 49.4 from the floor and 43 from beyond the arc. Providing a steady hand. And again, you brought up Jordan Poole, Nico Mannion, having that vet effect for them. So, that's what's important there, man. So definitely can't knock it. Did you have anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
Nah, man, just excited to see how this playoff thing shake out. I really want to see how the Ignite respond to, it's basically a do or die situation for them.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun to see how they work that out.
Oh, and then let me share this so you guys can see what we got going on tomorrow in terms of in the G League, the games for tomorrow, because all the fun stops. All the fun stuff happens tomorrow, starting at 11 a.m. Final day of the regular season. Let me find this real quick. Just give me a moment. I got too many windows up on the screen right now. Everything looks the same. All right, here we go. All right, if you guys can see that, we got the Lakeland Magic, Raptors 905 at 11 a.m., 11:30 Long Island Nets and the Canton Charge. 3 p.m. we got Delaware Bluecoats and the Memphis Hustle. 3:30 Oklahoma City Blue and the Santa Cruz Warriors. 7 p.m. Austin Spurs G League Ignite. 7:30 Agua Caliente Clippers and the Greensboro Swarm. So again, tomorrow's the last day of the regular season of the G League. Next time we're here for G League Rundown, we talk about the playoffs, man. So definitely look forward to it. I implore all you guys to check that out tomorrow. There's no NBA tomorrow, so there's no excuse. Go get you a little G League. It's not going to hurt. So you don't have to go Google and look up stuff after checking this out. So we got that tomorrow, and then we'll see you guys Tuesday night for the Focus TV. Enjoy NBA All-Star, I don't even want to say weekend, but day on Sunday. That's essentially what it is, the 24-hour NBA All-Star weekend experience, all compressed into one day. And then Tuesday night, episode 200 for the Focus TV. 2 special guests. Looking forward to that. You guys have a great one. For Raymond Wilson, y'all have a good night.